Like any activity in life, it's all about preparation. So start this year with a review of your finances. 2021 is the year to make things happen, so let's do it together. At the Nottingham, along with our trusted partners, there's not much we can't help you with when it comes to financial planning. From independent financial advice and prepaid funeral plans to will writing and estate planning services, we've got it covered. So call your nearest branch today to arrange a free initial meeting to discuss your savings, pensions and investments.
The G&B Panthers were on the prowl looking for 4 points out of 4 as they took on opposition twice in the space of 3 days at home. After beating Belfast Giants in a dramatic penalty shootout, Fife Flyers were the visitors. Always a difficult side to play against, not least when their goalkeeper Shane Owen is in sparkling form, as he proved when they came to the National Ice Centre. Meanwhile, up in the stands, there was one of the fans hoping that his girlfriend would become his fiancée. Would he get the right answer? More importantly, would the Panthers get the right answer out on the ice?
The players will be back after this short message from the Nottingham Building Society, headline sponsor of the Nottingham Panthers. Are you saving for your first home and thinking about getting on the property ladder? Are you aged 18 to 39? Would you like to see how you could get up to £1,000 free per tax year for your first home? Let us tell you about the Lifetime ISA. The Lifetime ISA is a savings account for 18 to 39-year-olds who want a little extra help with their future savings goals. You can use it for your first home or wait until you're 60 and use your savings for retirement. The government will give you a 25% bonus on your savings. So you save £100, you get £25. You save £4,000, which is the maximum per tax year, you get £1,000 free, paid straight into the account, plus interest. You can open an account with just £10 online at thenottingham.com. Ineligible withdrawals are subject to a government charge of up to 25%. Check the terms and conditions for more information. Now back to the Nottingham Panthers.
Welcome, folks. It's Sunday night here in National Ice Centre, and Fife Flyers, the visitors this evening, as the Nottingham Panthers entertain the visitors from Scotland, and they hope to build on the win from Friday night. That's Moyer, former Steeler, with that backhand feed to no in particular, and it's going to go for nice and call as Kudrach goes and touches up. The goaltending matchup this evening is Mika Wakeman in the Panthers goal, and just in the top of your screen right there, Shane Owen. Now, we've heard plenty of good things about Owen, and he certainly hit the season running. So we'll see firsthand what number 50 of the Fife Flyers is capable of doing. Moyer touched it up, and now it's going to go all the way for another icing. We're going to assume that Russ Moyer is going to have a big role tonight. Indeed, bolstering their D-core is Russ Moyer. There's another icing infraction there by the Fife Flyers. And we could also keep an eye on Rick Jackman. He's got a spicy shot too. Plenty of good pieces for the Fife Flyers, and they've certainly started the first part of the season well. As Brad Moran goes in for a shot on Shane Owen, making sure that his reputation indeed is earned. Makes the save on the Panthers captain. Now we're only 25 seconds into this hockey game, and Shane Owen is welcomed by a Brad Moran sizzler. Brad Moran fighting for Stephen Schultz in hot pursuit. He's going to keep the cycle running. Brad Moran can't get a touch on it. Kudrach comes in from the point position and plays it for Logan McMillan. He'll send it right back in there, right on tape of Steve Schultz. He's looking to carve in. Off the window and over to Kudrach. A bobbling puck, hard to corral, but Kudrach does enough for McMillan. Glove down, but not controlled by Fox. So on it comes for Schultz. He thought about the drop pass, asking for a hooking call there. None given. Brad Moran still cooking. And now Kudrach will just filter it along the half wall and down low. The Panthers crowd getting into this hockey game is Robert Farmer, his first shift of the hockey game. Now it's Fox back the other way, burning in. Mika Wakeman is going to absorb that shot, and welcome to the hockey game, number 20. Both goaltenders have faced their opening shots with 18:37 still remaining of the first period. I'd like to remind you this hockey game is sponsored by Bauer Hockey Equipment. Robert Lakovich with that face-off in the defensive zone. Sometimes hot, sometimes cold on that dot, but that time made just enough as Eric Lindhagen taps it for Farmer. He returns the favor, and now it's tabled for Steve Lee. They play catch as Eric Lindhagen looks up ice. Now carrying the mail is Steve Lee, wearing that A on his jersey. Robert Farmer will usher it forward. Robert Lakovich meets the clearance, so does Steve Lee, and it's sent around the corner bend once again. Brian McGradden trying to give it chase. Five Flyers can get it out. Shane Owen comfortably absorbs and freezes the play. Five Flyers taking a 6-5 loss last night as Panthers come into this hockey game with a win under their belts against the Belfast Giants in the shootout. Jeff Brown on duty at the dot. Looks like Matt Carter wants to take a shot. But now it's Nikiforuk. Puts on the brakes and tries to spin away from Paquette. Does so twice. But Paquette got a good chunk of him. Either way, that didn't disturb him for much longer. Thomas Muir following up, putting on the parentheses there. But the Five Flyers can't clear. A trickling puck. Gonna go be chased by Jeff Brown as he takes Philip Paquette to the boards. That's Cisco with the feed. Didn't connect that time as Jeff Devon puts on the brakes. Pass it to Dan Spang, and he's got plenty of time and space as the guys in black and gold set up. Kudrach coming up ice. And he'll rim it around the boards. Eric Lindhagen to meet it, and he reverses the flow. Lowering his shoulder that time, Chris Lawrence finds a skating lane, but he gets eliminated immediately by Isaacs. That's Kudrach. Sauce pass to Ollie Bedridge, who couldn't quite connect on it. He's already got one goal this weekend. That's dumped in by Finucci. Chris Lawrence with the first pass, random money for Kudrach, who tees it up for Ollie Bedridge. And he's going to go chase this. A big collision there with Kyle Haynes. Finucci can't finagle his way past Brad Moran. Brad Moran a double team there, but managed to swipe it on for Jeff Dimon. He runs into trouble quickly for Steve Lee, and they exchange the favor. Dimon assessing his options through center. Thought about the dump and then went for it. He's going to go and track it down. The centering pass there by Logan McMillan, but it didn't click in the favor of the Nottingham Panthers, and now it's Schultz for Steve Lee in their own zone. Brad Moran collects and distributes for Dimon. He plays it laterally for Steve Lee. He's looking for that home run pass to Steven Schultz, some of that Steve connection, but didn't quite work out that time. And that's going to be another icing infraction against the Traveling Whites, the Fife Flyers. Still a couple of goose eggs on the board here in this early hockey game. And Sunday night or Sunday afternoon is a good time to be a hockey fan here in Nottingham. Quite a few fixtures on Sunday, even though Saturday is the main day. McGrann's going to go hustle for it. It's going to ricochet around over for Robert Farmer. He takes a couple of love taps, if you will, and Eric Lindhagen with the pump, and Shane Owen makes the save. That's Fox back the other way. He's going to finesse it over to the corner boards and go get it. Takes a spill on the way there, but regains his footing, and now he's in control. Drop pass for Paquette, Brian McGradden shadowing him. Thinnell also involved with Eric Lindhagen, who's the longer straw there. Robert Lakovich tried to go for Robert Farmer, and it finally ricochets through, but I was going to say that did look offside from up here. as Brian McGrattan was teaming up there with Robert Farmer. It was kind of a late whistle there, so implying it was perhaps close. Either way, it comes in front of the Panthers bench, meaning there was intention of doing the offside. Either way, Jeff Brown going to work. Nikiforuk gets his stick lifted. Brown takes over after Wilson made it hard for Nikiforuk to control. Kudrach off the boards for Andy Sertic, and he redistributes it back for 78. Tipped forward by Matt Carter, and he's going to go and chase this one down. Russ Moyer is going to absorb a big hit there by number 17, Matt Carter, and he doesn't look too happy about that one. And he's getting up gingerly too. It looks like Matt Carter is going to go to the box. Cross-checking is the call. We'll have to keep an eye on Russ Moyer. Either way, with 14:44 remaining of the opening stanza, the GMB Nottingham Panthers have a PK to deal with. Moreover, the puck starts here to the right of Mika Weekman as Siska and Chris Lawrence are going to go digging for it. Danucci and Kudrach encouraged to go back outside of the face-off circle. Kudrach brushes for Robert Lakovic, who runs into trouble, but managed to force it on for Andy Sertic, and he makes no mistakes about that. And you got to appreciate the play there by Andy Sertic with a PK to deal with. He manages to get that dumping right on goal, and that's going to be an offensive zone face-off for the Nottingham Panthers. Regardless of the outcome of the face-off, they managed to win some time, or kill some time at least. Controlled by Siska, he uses the yellow dasher for Kyle Haynes. Haynes is going to try to carry the mail by Robert Lakovic, just disrupting his flow. Lakovic and Lawrence check out as Siska plays it to his right. The shot comes in and it's wide by Paquette. They rim it around, but for no in particular, Kyle Haynes is going to go in hot pursuit. Likewise, Brad Moran, that's going to be chopped into the Flyers bench, and it's going to ricochet right out of there. Either way, that's a stoppage in play. 1:21 remaining of the Matt Carter minor. As Brad Moran is going to bend to the task. Shaber, his counterpart. That's won cleanly by the Panthers captain as Dan Spang sends in a frisbee all the way for Shane Owen to control. Logan McMillan working hard in the back check there as Russ Moyer was trying to lug it up ice. Fox and Jeff Dimon meet at those corner boards. Brad Moran tries to get out unsuccessfully as Moyer keeps it in play. Takes a shot, and Mika Weekman with the save. Rebound ricochets this way. Moyer assessing his options. He's going to walk the stripe a bit and then play it over to that far half, while Fox with that slot tip there. It's going to go wide. Now Jackman, he's got time and space, finds the backdoor feed. Mika Weekman gets there in time to stop. Also poke checks it for good measure. And Flyers forced to the perimeter once again. Skate to stick for Thinnell as he feeds Jackman in point position. He takes a big shot there and spat out a little bit, but Mika Weekman managed to cradle it in time, and with 13:05 remaining, we remain scoreless. 22 ticks still remaining of the Matt Carter minor. He's got a great Movember mustache going as well. Brown and Siska rendezvous at the dot. Jeff Brown says thank you very much. Robert Farmer gets the feed. And then he dishes off for Jeff Brown, who's going to usher it forward. Kyle Haynes running into trouble, namely Jeff Brown. He nearly fed Robert Farmer with a loose biscuit. Speaking of Farmer, he's going to go hard to work. Great pick there by Kyle Haynes. Panthers full strength. Skate to stick that time, but not controlled by Siska. Robert Farmer comes in and lends in a helping hockey stick, but now Five Flyers coming in hot, and that bobbling puck, or rolling puck even, just eluded Russ Moyer. He was in prime real estate to pull the trigger. Steve Lee right off the end boards, and Russ Moyer will send it around his own corner bend. That's going to pop right over for Ollie Bedridge. He tried to find Steven Schultz, but sticks in lanes that time. Mika Weekman dishes on for Kudrach. First layer of pressure there is Stephen Gunn. Tap play, and now the referee gets involved as well. Another try from this side. Kudrach with the shot, and Shane Owens makes the glove save. Yeah, Kudrach can pump that pillow, that's for sure. They really put some good power on it as Corey Nielsen deploys the Chris Lawrence line out here. Winged by Brian McGrattan and Robert Lakovich. You see the way Sertic is positioned over there. He's going to await a pass, but that was taken away. Now he's chasing for it. It popped funnily off the yellow part of the dasher. And Muir will clear, at least partially, until Robert Lakovich just cut it off. Lakovich swipes it for Chris Lawrence as he goes to work. Moves it up to point position for Sertic, just sends one in, and it's going to go wide of the target. Lakovich, he's got his working boots on here on this shift. Finally, Thinnell will play diagonally for Shaver. He's content to just dump it in as a rolling puck is settled down and controlled by Robert Lakovich. A stretch pass for Brian McGrattan. He runs into somebody called Kyle Haynes, number 44. Brad Moran tries to take a shot through the screen, but Turan got the brunt of it. Devon below the goal line, and now Steven Schultz collects it on the other side. He puts on the brakes and gets dispossessed. Logan McMillan picking up the slack, but that pass is going to go out of zone, and Dan Spang forced to reorganize. McMillan brings it in swiftly with a backhand feed, looking dangerous. Brad Moran nearly got a touch on it, and then Steven Schultz just pumped it wide of the cage. Panthers are rolling here, that's for sure. McMillan for Dimon, they exchange pleasantries there. It's going to go below the cage. Five Flyers can't clear the zone. They are hemmed in, at least for now. Well, it's going to come out. Face off to the left of Shane Owen with 10-12 still remaining of the opening stanza. Brad Moran is going to have a little word with the referee. Couple of things he could talk about there, really. Not least getting run over right on that scoring opportunity. As Jeff Brown will bend to the task. Five Flyers in a determined fashion coming up ice. And now turning and burning is Matt Carter. Makes a couple of fakes there and finally backhands it. Shane Owens has plenty of black and gold over there, and Nicky Forick tried to feed Jeff Brown, but number 16 couldn't get any good wood on it. Dimon will clear, and icing has been called against the Nottingham Panthers. Face-off going to come to the right of Mika Weigman. As we're 16 seconds past the halfway mark of this opening period. Shaver, Thinnell, and Fox, the unit out there for the Fife Flyers. Jeff Brown, Nicky Forick, and Matt Carter for the Panthers as Mika Weekman's going to find that puck right into his glove. And another stoppage in play. Five Flyers keep their unit out there as Corey Nielsen deploys fresh troops. Lakovich versus Shaver right off the dot. He's gonna carry him over for Steve Lee. He delicately put it off the window for Robert Farmer. That plays onside, courtesy of Brian McGrattan doing the splits practically. Then McGrattan takes a shot. Comfortable six save there by Shane Owen. Steve Lee tried to pinch him, but Fox beat him to the punch. Shaver and Lindhagen all tangled up. Brian McGrattan getting out that shovel and digging it free. Robert Farmer with a couple moves, and he finds some wiggle room through center. Sauce pass for Brian McGrattan. He tries to return the favor. Eric Lindhagen will meet it on the other side with a nice fake and tries to go for a slot pass for Farmer. He took a slap shot, couldn't connect on it. Fife Flyers break out, or try to break out, courtesy of Paquette. Chris Lawrence is all over them, however. That's off the window and out. Fife Flyers really in some pressure here. That's Kudrach, and he just makes that big shot right there. Might have been going wide. Either way, it's a good idea for Shane Owen just to freeze that puck up. Make sure his guys get a little breather, maybe have an opportunity to reset and change the momentum, as this is very much in favor of the Nottingham Panthers thus far. That swung cleanly by Siska. Haynes taps it the other way, and the Fife Flyers break out. Wilson trying to usher it forward. Toe dragged back by Srdich. Distributed for Nikiforuk. Now Chris Lawrence takes over the reins. Finds Kudrach on the other side of the ice. Kudrach with a pass that went through a couple of sticks and bodies there. And now Wilson with that backhand feed to no one in particular. So Chris Lawrence going to go for an Ollie Betters tries to bank it in off Shane Owen. Didn't succeed that time. Nikiforuk gravitating into the slot area. Ollie Betters was all tied up and couldn't do much with his hockey stick. It's a one-on-one situation here. Kudrach comes in and helps out as Brooks goes for a lateral feed. That's Finucci. And he plays the point position. Immediate shot. Andy Srdich, you can credit him with the block there that time. Brad Moran with that backhand pass over for Logan McMillan, who's coming in hot. Takes the shot, and that's steered to the right of Owens. Dimmon's going to walk the stripe for a bit. Sends it wide intentionally. That's a good pass for Logan McMillan there that time. Steven Schultz, a good area there for Steven Schultz. That being said, it's not a great goal-scoring area, but Steven Schultz tends to be quite hot from that. But Shane Owen just managed to get his number for that one. Of course, Shane Owen and Chris Lawrence returning to the lineup 2 days ago. Both playing in special team roles right from the get-go and looking to build on some momentum they generated from that win. David Clark still sidelined as he'll watch this hockey game from the bench. That's pumped in, and it's going to carry him to the left side here. Nikiforuk on the advance, the wraparound pass, but couldn't quite team up there with Jeff Brown. Now Jeff Dimmon joins the act, rims it around. Nikiforuk sets the pick, and Matt Carter's going to take a shot, just buzzed it wide. Dimmon on the pinch. Brown kept it moving, and now Nikiforuk in control. He's going to keep this play hot. There's Jeff Brown, try to use the cage as shelter. Drop pass for Jeff Dimmon. A very sticky situation here. And finally, it's a logjam that's solved by the Fife Flyers, and they gain the puck in the offensive zone. Funny bounce. That particular board tends to do that and just evades Fox there that time. The shot comes in. Mika Weekman makes the save. That's off the stanchion and not cleared. Shaber. He's got his hands on the wheel now. Then there comes a shot from Fox. Mika Weekman will flag it down. Brooks, Wilson, and Sisk out there for the Fife Flyers. You can expect this line to do some damage in the Elite League this season. Eric Lindhagen doing the heavy lifting through center. Then comes into the zone and puts on the brakes. Absorbs that hit. Logan McMillan in point position for Steve Lee. A tip there by Steven Schultz. Tries to boot it forward for himself. But finally the Fife Flyers managed to clear. Courtesy of Siska. That puck is tipped into the audience.
Please keep your eye on the puck at all times with power. And please do not take your seats whilst the puck is in play. Please wait for goals.
And I think we're going to be all good here. It's a bittersweet souvenir for sure, especially if it hits you hard. Moyer moves away from Brian McGradden, however, blows a tire, as he does, on that particular play. That's sent around the shelf of the boards. Brian McGradden tried to control around Moyer. Lakovic with the diagonal feed, but that's going to be offside, as signaled by the linesman to Roberts, not quite connecting that time. Lakovic, Farmer, and Brian McGradden. A very utility line, I'd imagine, as all these players can play a variety of roles in different ways. Finucci will tip it forward, and that goes out of play off of Finucci's blade. That means, of course, the face-off's going to come outside of the Panthers zone and on to center ice. Shane Owens stocking up on some water with 5:03 remaining. That's off the boards and over for Robert Lakovic from the clearance. Farmer can't finagle his way past there. And now Andy Sertish forced to retreat. Puts on the brakes and activates Farmer on the play. A nice toe drag there. Great pickup there by number 19. That second try on the shot works. Shane Owens had to do a little bit of a juggling act there, but makes it work for him. And he'll freeze the puck. Speaking of utility lines, watch this right here. Chris Lawrence, Ollie Beddards, and Steven Schultz. Those guys gel, they could do some real big time damage. Lawrence will filter it down the half ball. Kyle Haynes puts on the brakes behind the cage. Steven Schultz, the first layer of pressure. And Chris Lawrence is going to pick the slack up there. Dan Spang takes a shot. That's off a body in front. Fox forces it to center, and now Chris Lawrence off the boards for Schultz. A nice move there by number 14, but misplayed, and Thinnell moved it out. Spang can't quite connect the dots with Steven Schultz. Ollie Beddards trying to hound the puck free from Turan, but he rimmed it before he got to him. Spang retracing his steps. Sauce pass over for Steven Schultz. Those two have played before. In the Texas Stars, that is. And a retaliation there by Russ Moyer against Jeff Brown. And Jeff Brown is somebody who can really stand up, not only for himself, but his teammates as well. You can see he's just looking over his left shoulder, making sure who was that guy. Matt Carter spins away, however, can't quite connect with a teammate, and Siska nearly got it out. Brown with a spin pass over for Nicky Forick. Over for Lee at point position. Sends a soft one in, and I think that just came off the shoulder of Owen, who was looking for someone to tip that up. Now all sorts of havoc going on here. Jeff Brown with a big hit, and now quick blistering shot there by Nicky Forick. Lindhagen will siphon it for Brown, and this is getting really physical out here with Brown and Moyer on the ice at the same time. Fans obviously enjoying it. Nicky Forick doesn't have much to shoot at. And it's Brad Moran, and he gets a shot in. Nicky Forick with a diving play, and I think this is going to be a penalty against the Fife Flyers. Indeed it is. Mika Weekman off to the bench. And wow, it is getting real ugly out here. Chris Lawrence Couldn't get all of that one. Russ Moyer is going to go and cool off for a deuce for tripping. Panthers on the power play. That means with 2:12 remaining of the opening stanza here at the National Ice Center, Panthers can do some real damage and make a statement going into the first intermission. Chris Lawrence also on the power play. Brad Moran, Robert Farmer out there representing the black and gold, as well as Steven Schultz and Jeff Dimon. All characters Panthers fans have been used to seeing on the power play, especially last season as well. Schultz thought about the shot, then goes for Brad Moran, backdoor feed for Robert Farmer, but he couldn't get it to go. Dimon from backhand to forehand, and Moran played it diagonally for Schultz. Looking to thread the needle that time, didn't. Either way, Farmer picks up the slack. Now Jeff Dimon with a pump, and that's going to ricochet off Kyle Haynes to the right of Shane Owen. 135 remaining of the man advantage. As Schultz delicately for Chris Lawrence. Try to go high short side. Band on it. Kyle Haynes with the pressure. Jeff Dimon controls the point position. Distributes it for Brad Moran. He in turn tables it for Robert Farmer. Thought about going for that pass. Now Brad Moran receives and plays catch with Jeff Dimon. Then Brad Moran takes a shot. Shane Owen will absorb that one, and we've got a little bit of afters here. That's what that net front presence game does. Bodies collide and tempers tend to flare up a bit. Still 1:14 remaining of the Panthers man advantage. Jeff Brown, Matt Carter, and Alex Nikiforek out there, as well as Srdych and Dan Spang. Speaking of Srdych, stationed at the near half wall, Matt Carter table it for him. Srdych will mail for Spang, and he offered it right back to him. Sauce pass, hard to control by Matt Carter. Does, however, first came off the shaft of his stick. Srdych gravitating in, finds the seam for Alex Nikiforek. He tried to go back for the backdoor feed. 55 seconds remaining of the opening stanza. Matt Carter right in front. It's poked away and finally cleared by the Fife Flyers. Long pass for Nikiforek. Dropped on for Matt Carter. He does the same for Spang. Spang a soft one in. Brown trying to be the screen, but also absorb the brunt of that shot. Srdych for Carter. Now joining the act is Nikiforek. He in turn moves it for Spang. Brushed right back for number 9. Across the seam for Srdych. He moves to get the goalie moving as well. Nikiforek idling. Fans asking for a shot. Then a shot comes. A couple rebound attempts there by Jeff Brown. Srdych still at it. Hard work here by the Panthers on the power play. Then Nikiforek right in front, denied by Owen. One more chance for Matt Carter. I think Owen got it. Wow. With 2.4 seconds remaining of the opening stanza, Shane Owen comes big for the Fife Flyers. That was really close. That was really close. Not much the Panthers can do right off this face-off. Lakovic just gets tied up at the dot, and that's the end of the opening period. 0-0 after 20 minutes of hockey.
So I'm walking through, and as I'm going out for warm-up, I'm like, I remember saying to myself, walking down the tunnel, this is it. Right, I'm gonna walk on the ice. There's gonna be people in the stands coming to watch me play. So I step on the ice. I am not 2 feet on the ice, and I hear, "Leach, you suck!"
You start to think, what was I doing when I was 20 years old?
Right. Hey, I didn't think I was going to be doing that when I was 20 years old either. So.
Unfortunately, like you said, it's one of those moments where Julian comes up big when he needs to.
Oh, God.
Dude, let's not pump his tires.
So I went out and I started lining up and I started going the wrong way against my own goalie because I was so nervous I didn't even realize. And everyone was yelling at me. And then I was like, oh my God.
Before we carry on, I will say that you have the most delightful accent that has been on this show. I've never had someone with that kind of Bostonian accent. So this is wonderful.
Yeah, hopefully you can understand me.
Well, I tell a story in the book about cycling with our team at one point.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert, you should pick up the book. But
no, I think the first day he showed up was a good indicator of Linger. He walked in, and instead of carrying a hockey bag, he was carrying a duffel bag.
Don't do the mistake I did once, just leaving the ice, being the only rookie to not stay. I heard about it for months, let me tell you.
And you mentioned them a minute ago. What did you make of Johann's white skates when you first saw them?
Well, they're not for me, but I thought they were awesome. Yeah.
You had a fight in a game.
Oh God.
Now, well, now
all of a sudden, about after 5 minutes of doing drills and stuff, the fury obviously starts to come down onto his face and everything. So, anyways, he takes off back to the boards and he's throwing water on his head and drinking it, and everyone's looking at him like, what's wrong with him? You know, like, what's going on? I never told anybody, right?
Here we go, folks. Second period about to get underway here at the National Ice Center. Score 0-0 after opening period. Shots on goal, however, 15-7 in favor of the Nottingham Panthers as Shaber just bests Brad Moran off the face-off dot to get possession. So now we'll bump it in as Fox takes a spill and goes into the cage. Knocks it off at some moorings. And that's your first 12 seconds of the second period expired. Face off in front of the Fife Flyers bench, where the famous Doots is the guy calling the shots. We're gonna have a redo here as Brad Moran's gonna get kicked out of the face-off dot, that is. Logan McMillan to take over. Schaber wins it cleanly due to defeat for Jackman. He's gonna go for that cross corner dump in. Kudroch turns, absorbs one. McMillan can't finagle his way past. Jackman now has it, and he can pump that pill. And the shot comes high and wide by Thurmel. Full speed back the other way is Logan McMillan. He tried to go with a toe drag move around Russ Moyer. He lifts his stick, and now Fox will send in the looper to center. Glove down by Steven Schultz comfortably, I might add. And then Kudroch gets the tap. Lindhagen connecting the dots with Chris Lawrence. Regains it after a lucky carom. Lindhagen takes a spill. Regains his footing and activates Steve Lee, and Shane Owens sees that puck go into his glove. As the remaining fans re-find their seats for the second period right here. We're going to have a face-off to the left of Owen as Chris Lawrence is going to clue in Brian McGrattan and Robert Farmer what he's going to do. It looks like he might even try to win it for perhaps Lindhagen. Or Steve Lee at least. Lee thought about the pass and activates Brian McGrattan. A ricochet wide and a rolling puck cleared by the Fife Flyers. Wilson giving a chase, but Lindhagen chopped it back. Now Brooks, full speed, takes a shot, and this is going to ramp up off of Eric Lindhagen's stick, and that even went over the safety netting. That's how much mustard that one had. Chris Lawrence making his way back to the bench. There's a new line out there to represent the Panthers. We'll see Nikiforuk along with Matt Carter and Jeff Brown. The early turned out sloppy, but Wilson couldn't take advantage of of it as Nikiforuk has a defensive zone cycle there for Steve Lee. Now spinning and turning was Wilson, but Siska even. And a big hit there, but didn't quite connect all of it. And now Jeff Brown, full speed back the other way. Backhand pass for Nikiforuk. He needs to hustle to get into that. Matt Carter can't finish it off at the doorstep. Spang, skate to stick. Plays it along the blue stripe for Jeff Dimon. They exchange with Alex Nikiforuk. Now Matt Carter joining the act. Makes the move around Wilson. He's found some racetrack behind the cage. Then backdoor for Jeff Brown. Panthers are cooking. Matt Carter tries to come in. Great defensive play by Brooks there. Dimon can't corral, and now Dan Spang forced to chase into his own zone. Nikiforuk, far side, finds Jeff Dimon. It's an odd man rush. Shane Owen makes the save. Dimon looks skywards. Can't believe he got denied by number 50. Chris Lawrence working at the dot. Wins it for Kudrach. Stick save by Shane Owen. He's going to steer it out of play. Blackridge going to regain his footing there. And we're going to do it all over again here to the right of Shane Owen. Tap forward. Muir will send it around the boards. Hustling for it is Ollie Betteridge. Trying to link up there with Chris Lawrence. And then managed to finagle himself free. On his side, he nearly went in for a highlight reel play. Not much leverage you can put on the puck when you're stationed like that, but a great battling effort by Ollie Betteridge. Chris Lawrence keeps things hot. Point position for Andy Surdich. He's going to walk in. Score! 17:07 remaining of the second period. And the Panthers have the opening tally, courtesy of Andy Surdich. And you can see that on that particular play, that instead of just taking the shot, he goes in closer, sees he has some racetrack, so he's going to go right in there. Steve Lee keeps it moving up ice for Logan McMillan. Finally, he picked it up and over for Brad Moran. They crisscross through the center of the zone. Can't quite connect that time. Brad Moran absorbs a small one from Fox as a D2D feed between Lindhagen and Steve Lee. They play the hinge game. That pass came to Brad Moran, not uninterrupted, however. Fox looking to activate the counterpunch. Faber working down low. Steve Lee keeping tabs on him. Steven Schultz tried to create a double team. Finally, Brad Moran gains and clears. First pass right over for Steven Schultz. Tries to find a little hole through Shaber to backhand it through. However, number 91 got the better of him. And the Fife Flyers dump it into the zone. Farmer gets robbed on the way there by Brooks. Lindhagen can't corral it either, but that's going to be sent wide on the backhand of Siska. Brian McGrattan laterally for Robert Farmer. Takes a shot and Owen makes a quite comfortable looking save. He makes it look easier than it is. That's Lakovic waiting for a passing option. Robert Farmer got a stick lifted and it's going to tamely trickle on for Owen to freeze. Panthers so far into this period, 4.5 minutes into this period, have continued right where they left off in the opening stanza. As little repairs being done. Now we're good to go here. Jeff Brown at the dot for the black and gold. Trying to swipe at it. Nikiforuk taps it back. Turning on a dime, Dan Spang. With a backhand feed across. Scores! Nikiforuk with a tally! Great play by Dan Spang. With a little spinorama move as well. Just all around great assist by Dan Spang. And Nikiforuk with the putt. And now the hockey game's changed dramatically. Panthers with a 2-0 lead as opposed to a 0-0 deadlock where they just keep pressuring. Little relief for the guys and some insurance as well. Jackman diagonally up ice. They try to find Thimmel. Spang for Nikiforuk. This line stays out there on the ice. Or for Matt Carter. Carter tries to shoot through a screen. Settles it down so gently and sends it around the corner bend for Jeff Brown to hound down. Thinnell, on the other hand, looks to clear. Just exploded off Jeff Dimmon's blade. Dan Spang, seeing the pressure of Fox, skating to a better area to make that pass. Now it's Betteridge after Farmer dropped it off to him. He returns the favor and Farmer just buzzed it high. The Panthers are going. And it's surprising it's only 2-0 thus far. A couple of chances that Owen has managed to rob the Panthers in. Lawrence and Siska say hello at the dot. Number 18 gets the better of him. And now Kudrach activates Farmer on the play. Joining the act is Chris Lawrence, but Kyle Haynes has other ideas. Takes a spill, however. Ollie Betteridge keeps it moving for Farmer. Farmer on the nice delay. Now Kudrach forced to go and chase, as he was a little too eager to join the act that time. Sertic finds a seam for Farmer. Farmer lowers his shoulder, pivots up, and over for Kudrach. Ollie Betteridge takes a shot. Rebound for Chris Lawrence. He ran out of racetrack there. Sertic one more. He nearly had his second of the game, but Owen got a good piece of that with his glove. Kudrach keeps it buzzing. Haynes is all lassoed by Lawrence. Now Siska trying to lend a helping hockey stick. Finally pops free to a man as Panthers were on a line change. Over for Brooks, but this is going to be called offside against the Fife Flyers. And this building is buzzing now. Rand cluing in Eric Lindhagen on his intentions off the face-off. And as you can see, he probably said, I'll pass to you off this one. McMillan gets the outlet pass from Steve Lee. Doesn't hesitate to dump it in. Owen comes out bravely to play it. Turned over, and now McMillan for Brad Moran. It exploded off his stick, and Schoon is going to try to make the Panthers pay. Schultz got a piece of that one, and that is going to be knocked off by Steve Lee. His stick even got stuck in the meshing. And just flung the net off its moorings. Shane Owen needs a drink. So we're gonna have a little delay here as he gets a new water bottle off the bench. Whether his water bottle was empty or not is for you to decide. Either way, there's gonna be a small stoppage in play here. If it wasn't, that's a good play by Shane Owen just to get his guys some time. Lindhagen on the outlet pass for Logan McMillan. He carries on through. That's off the stanchion. Doesn't bounce in favor of Steven Schultz. Brad Moran with a backhand trying to play it in deep. Got stickered onto the boards there, so Eric Lindhagen is going to go D-to-D for Steve Lee. Five Flyers coming in really hot right now. just relentless on the forecheck. But if the Panthers can't get out of their zone, they might find them napping. Offside on the play. I believe a line change was being made, and as you can see, that door is on the other side of the blue line for the forwards. And now we're gonna have the padding going back on the plexi. Very interesting how a hockey game can turn so quickly, and Fife Flyers, especially in the first period, a lot of their game was based on kind of clearing the zone. Now they're really getting the puck in deep, pounding on the forecheck, especially after those 2 goals. Spang D2D with Jeff Dimon. Dimon thought about dropping it back for Spang. Finally, it's going to ricochet after Fox got a piece of it. Brian McGran with the dump in. Now lugging up ice was Moyer. Fox with a backhand feed. That's going to go wide of Miko Weekman. He regains his position. Jackman siphons it right back in there. Shaker keeps the play hot. Fox is greeted by Robert Lakovich. Ollie Betteridge hustles to get there before Jackman does. Jackman opts to retreat. And as Betteridge activates Jeff Dimon. Now joining in on the fun is Dan Spang behind the cage. That's Fox, the first layer of pressure. They're giving Spang some skating room here. And then he's just going to rim it around. Shane Owen can't quite stop all of it, but slowed it down enough. Moyer with the play. And with 11:38 remaining, we're going to have a stoppage in play. You'll actually see that Moyer is a really talented guy lugging the puck off ice, but obviously couldn't come into terms with the Sheffield Steelers last season, or end of last season, in the off season. Did, however, with the Fife Flyers, and is obviously a fit over here. Brown versus Siska at the dot. Those two joust at it, and I think Siska tried to take a shot with it off the faceoff. Carter tried to seek Brown, but now it's Brooks. He misplayed it as well. Matt Carter tries to go with a delicate move around, but can't finagle his way past. Serdich with the D2D feed for Kudrach. Matt Carter right on his tape. He can be dangerous when that puck is on his tape. Turan trying to do the stick lift. Nicky Forik had his shot deflected to the right of Owen. Really one of those alley-oop plays with Siska, no icing on the play. Nicky Forik gets at the near half wall and absorbs a tame hit to make the play. Brooks tangled up with Jeff Brown. He's not happy about it. Andy Sturridge coming back the other way. Kudrach gets his stick lifted. He nearly had his first there. Siska with a great defensive play. Dennis Lawrence pad save, and here comes Nicky Forik. Makes the move. He's in prime real estate, but can't quite pop that pill towards the cage. Then a nice pass, but not quite on the tape of Finucci. Five Flyers could have had a breakaway there. Really putting his back into it is Eric Lindhagen as Paquette comes to help him out. Kudrach gets rubbed up by the Flyers' forecheck, but managed to get out of it. Then backdoor scores! Five Flyers are on the board, courtesy of Thanel. Shaber with the assist. And with 9 seconds until we reach the halfway mark of this hockey game, Flyers shave off a goal of the Panthers' lead. And once again, it's a very different hockey game. McMillan, skate to stick. That plays onside. Geometrically behind the boards. McMillan missed his hit there. Now a long pass, but that's going to be offside against the Fife Flyers. And if you think about it, we still have 29 minutes and 46 seconds remaining of regulation time, and with a 2-1 score, we're in for some treat. We're seeing some good hockey out here. Shaver will tap it back. Paquette receives the D2D feed. He finds a cross-corner dump-in opportunity and takes it. Steve Lee dropped in his wake for Brad Moran. McMillan as it explode off his blade. Paquette thought about the backhand feed. Finally does it as well. That's lobbed up, and it trickles behind the cage of Mika Weekman. Brad Moran gets on his horse back the other way. That pass didn't find its target. And now Shaver gets lassoed by Eric Lindhagen. He's really committing on those board battles this evening, especially in the second period. Fox with a drop feed, then quick shot there by Turan. Fox for Paquette. He moves it and plays the angles of the corner boards. Bodies flying around in there. Finally, caroms for Steven Schultz. Can't make the fancy play past Finucci, and he takes a shot, and he's going to buzz it wide on the short side. Schultz with another bite at the cherry, puts on the brakes, taken down. Lakovic for Spang, who did well to keep it in the zone. Chris Lawrence tried to deflect it, but got the brunt of it. Dimon, his pass never reached the target. Now it's Siska, full speed back the other way. Mika Wakeman makes the save. They're erasing the mistakes here. There's Mika Wakeman. Face off to the right of number 20 of the Nottingham Panthers. You'll see Siska and Jeff Brown go to work at the dot. Pops free for Dan Spang. He'll click it for Matt Carter. He'll zip it forward for Nikiforuk, who wires it for Spang. Spang is going to team up with Nikiforuk. And now it's Jeff Brown joining the act. Reversing the flow, Matt Carter. He gives it chase and keeps the cycle going. Good communication there. Telepathic even. I didn't hear anybody actually just to make that play. Nikiforuk working on the boards. Dan Spang gets his stick lifted. Slop pass there for Jeff Brown, but no one home. Both forwards were tied up at the boards. Blocker saved by Mika Weekman off of Siska's semi-dump and semi-shot. Farmer gets some speed from his own zone, then decides to drop the package for Spang. Dan Spang, the veteran blue liner. Well-traveled D-man for sure. Farmer got a touch on it, so no icing on the play. Russ Moyer puts on the brakes. Brian McGrath didn't get there in time. Robert Lakovic nearly finds Farmer right on his tape. Tennell tried to swipe it away. Kudrach got the better of him that time. Lakovic with that high slot tip couldn't get it to go. Farmer to know in particular, and now Fox will turn and burn, and with that outlet pass finds Tennell. Lakovic got a piece of that pass, and that was critical to disrupt the advancement of the Fife Flyers. Kudrach laterally for Serdic. Nearly misplayed. Finucci tried to make him pay for his mistakes. And now Finucci lowers his shoulder as he tries to make a power move inside. Mika Weekman makes the initial save, turning and burning Robert Farmer back the other way. Brian McGrath, however, needs to go for a change. That's identified by Farmer. And he's just going to put it in the corner and buy enough time for the guys to get off the ice. Another player very nifty for the Fife Flyers is Finucci, as already mentioned. Siska, obviously, another guy who can be really looked at as one of their key offensive components, at least on paper. Excellent season with the Manchester Storm only a year ago. 5:55 still on the clock here at the National Ice Center of the second period. Fife Flyers with the breakout, disrupted by Logan McMillan. Schoon tries to rectify that play as Brad Moran will brush it back for Steve Lee. He'll table it for Eric Lindhagen, who wires it quickly for Steven Schultz. A bobbling puck. Schultz tries to dive and chop at it, or perhaps was even tripped, as signaled by the referee. Steve Lee asking perhaps for a penalty shot. None given. And Panthers go to work on the power play as their Kyle Haynes is going to sit a deuce for tripping. Lawrence muscles it back for Dimon. And Brad Moran stationed at that far half wall. Exchanging with Robert Farmer. He looks for a seam. Then Brad Moran tried to find Steven Schultz. Might have clicked off something there, never got on target. That definitely clicked off something. In fact, Shaber. Good hustle to keep it in. Shaber's stick is broken, so they're going to try to isolate the play on him. Finds Robert Farmer with the backhand for Brad Moran, and Jeff Dimon pumps it in. And trying to get his stick in there was Robert Farmer. Shane Owen was cradling the puck. Looks like cooler heads are going to prevail. As the linesman's going to pick up the firewood. And Shaver is going to go on the bench and get equipped with a new hockey stick. Going to work is Jeff Brown right off the dot. Dan Spang will skate it back to point position for Andy Surdich. Then Nicky Forik in control. Dan Spang oncoming. Dan Spang and ricocheted off a couple of bodies on the way. Then short side bid there by Jeff Brown. Couldn't get it to go. Fox gonna go chopping for it. I'm not sure where it is. Yeah, it's on the Panthers bench, and there's gonna be a stoppage in play. 64 ticks still remaining of the Panthers man advantage. Canucci bending to the task against Chris Lawrence off the faceoff. He's got Fox on his right. He's got Turon back home as well as Paquette. Getting some speed and revving up the engine is Jeff Dimon. Schultz crisply for an accelerating Robert Farmer. Takes it for a ride behind the cage and right back to number 14, native of New York. Farmer makes sure that Jeff Dimon joins the play. Now Brad Moran in control. He can thread the needle, this time safely for Jeff Dimon. Panthers working the exterior. Brad Moran no look pass for Robert Farmer. Regains from number 19. Schultz can't get it right in his wheelhouse. And never got the shot away. Nice pass there through the legs of Fox. Chris Lawrence does the heavy lifting and gets it in. Turon lost his hockey stick. Panthers gonna look to isolate on him. Now Dimon, Chris Lawrence with a short side bid. Might have hit the mask of Shane Owen. They're still rattling around for it, but Owen is gonna freeze that play. Only 4 seconds remain of the Panthers man advantage. And 3:37 remaining of the second stanza. Blakovic out there with Brian McGrath and Logan McMillan. On the defensive end, Steve Lee and Eric Lindhagen. That sent around hard. Lakovic takes a spill as he dumps it in. Brian McGrattan in control. Plays it away from pressure for Steve Lee. He plays it immediately for McMillan. Teams up with Steve Lee. Plenty of bodies in front. Yep, Shane Owen's got it. He's signaling to the referee that it's right here. Not sure how he saw it through all that traffic. Either way, he does make the save. And that's especially the key to scoring in the modern game of hockey. Get bodies in net, ricochets, screens. Goalies aren't getting beat that much anymore in clean shots. Haynes goes and gets the mail, sends it on up, and then they're going to play to no in particular. So Eric Lindhagen is going to team up with Steve Lee, or tried to. They couldn't connect that time. Quick shot comes in to, I think Mika Weekman got a good stick save on that one. Siska lowers his shoulder for Kyle Haynes on the point position, off the boards, and they keep it moving. Siska trying to pick up the slack. Eric Lindhagen reverses the flow. Steve Lee tries to send a frisbee out there, gloved down by Shaber. Now Siska and Shaber teaming up. They've got goal scorer Thanel out there on the ice too. Blackers with a backhand feed for Ollie Bedrich. Backdoor for Alex Nikiforuk. They're jamming at it. And Nikiforuk got taken down. And Ollie Bedrich ran into the referee too. Bodies flying. To the trailer. Siska right in front. Mika Wakeman stretches out to make the save. Absolutely huge toe save there. Jackman pumps it in, but not too much of a screen in front, and Mika Wakeman will absorb. Somebody's lost a piece of their equipment at the far half wall on Shane Owen's side. Don't know if it's from, yeah, it looks like it's from the referee. And Ollie Bedrich is taking a breather in the tunnel. Not good. Fox comes in. Ricochets right back out there. Jackman can't get it past the shin pads of Logan McMillan. He's got Steven Schultz as well with him. McMillan takes the shot. It's going to trickle to the right of Shane Owen. Tries to find Brad Moran on the trailing part of that play. Shaver throws on a couple of moves and makes a snow cone. Fox and Kudrach greet each other at the end boards. Brad Moran is going to go dig out the puck free for himself. Now Schultz joining in. Serdic in control. He's already got one today. Buzzed it and zipped it wide on the short side. Farmer gets robbed on the way forward. Brad Moran similarly good in favor of the Panthers. Chris Lawrence lugs it for Steven Schultz, turned over. And Siska, he's off to the races. Puts on the brakes, however, finds the trailer. Quick shot, scores! That's a blistering slap shot from Brooks. And a great heads-up play by Siska to find him on the trailing part of that play. And all of a sudden, it's 2-2. Shaver meeting up with Chris Lawrence right at the dot with 62 ticks remaining of the second stanza. Spang sees it ricochet away from him. Thanel will take it, can't pump it through. Now Jeff Dimon exercising through center. Brian McGrattan will dump it in and go for the chase. Drags it in free for himself. Chris Lawrence throwing the body around. Five Flyers generate the odd man rush back the other way. Skate to stick, and Shaber sees his shot ricochet out of play. 29.9 remaining. And then Golly Betteridge is mainly holding his face with a towel. I assume, I know, could be teeth, could be just a cut in the upper body area, in that head area. Either way, he's gonna, with 29 seconds to go, he's gonna go to the changing room, and we'll see if he returns for the third. That's Fox in control. Off the yellow dasher and right over for Mika Weekman's neighborhood. Eric Lindhagen quickly wires it up for Nicky Forick. And Jeff Brown didn't think twice about that, just a quick dump in play. Now the Fife Flyers generating numbers back the other way. Matt Carter got a good chunk of that. Jeff Brown's first pass interrupted by Fox. Now the ricochet wide of Mika Weekman. And that's going to do it. After 40 minutes of hockey, it's a 2-2 scoreline.
The players will be back after this short message from the Nottingham Building Society, headline sponsor of the Nottingham Panthers. Are you saving for your first home and thinking about getting on the property ladder? Are you aged 18 to 39? Would you like to see how you could get up to £1,000 free per tax year for your first home? Let us tell you about the Lifetime ISA. The Lifetime ISA is a savings account for 18 to 39-year-olds who want a little extra help with their future savings goals. You can use it for your first home, or wait until you're 60 and use your savings for retirement. The government will give you a 25% bonus on your savings. So you save £100, you get £25. You save £4,000, which is the maximum per tax year, you get £1,000 free, paid straight into the account, plus interest. You can open an account with just £10 online at thenottingham.com. Ineligible withdrawals are subject to a government charge of up to 25%. Check the terms and conditions for more information. Now back to the Nottingham Panthers.
Both teams back on the ice as Zaboni has come over and resurfaced the sheet. And with 20 minutes remaining of regulation, it's 2-2, and this is going to be an exciting finish. I have a feeling of that one. Russ Moyer retracing his steps back behind the cage. She'll start about smoking him out, but then it's going to go retreat into a defensive position. That's tipped to the left of Mika Weekman. Andy Serdic hustles over, can't get it out of the zone, however. Fox got a small touch on it, blockered away by number 20, Mika Weekman. Serdic gets angled off. Shaber tries to jump in. Now joining the play, Stenell. And a good-looking carom there for the Fife Flyers. They're still hot at it, fanning on the pass, however. Brad Moran with a delicate backhand feed in his own zone and a quick pump. I think that might have hit iron or at least the goal frame. That was really close for a great goal-scoring opportunity. Steve Lee will control behind the cage. Now he's going to exercise his legs over for Eric Lindhagen. Mailed on for Brian McGradden, and he's going to pump it around the boards. Joining on the fun, Steve Lee, as well as Brendan Brooks, and now we have a real log jam, and as the referee should, he's going to whistle it off. Looks like face-off is going to come outside of the offensive zone and in front of the penalty box of the away team. Chris Lawrence, last-minute advice on what he's going to do off this face-off. Siska is going to try to best him. Didn't that time. Eric Lindhagen pokes it forward for Brian McGradden. Now the puck skittles onwards for Shane Owen, and he's going to freeze it and not take any particular risks playing it out. And that's your first 100 seconds of the third period, folks. Adam Goodrich encouraging the boys on the bench. Equipment manager, the multi-season equipment manager for the Nottingham Panthers. Now went out of the zone, and now Fife Flyers initiate attack back the other way. Canucci can't pop it through. Now Brian McGradden's going to pounce on it. That's stick save by Shane Owens. Ricochet off the window for Steve Lee. Delicate swipe there for Chris Lawrence. Plenty of traffic, and he hits some as well. Eric Lindhagen couldn't track down the puck. And now coming back the other way, the Fife Flyers. Trying to use Steve Lee as a screen. Was Finucci, but couldn't get it through. Eric Lindhagen taking his time and drops in his wake for Jeff Dimon. Eric Lindhagen's going to go for a change. Dan Spang's going to come in for him. Fresh off the bench, number 33. Massachusetts native. Thinnell for Fox. And then Mika Weekman's going to make that save in front of his body. He's going to see that puck all the way into his glove. Going to go for a drink, and we're going to do it all over again here to the right of the Panthers netminder. Jeff Brown reconvenes with Shaber right on the dot. Spang hustles to the loose puck first and sends it around the roulette wheel with power. Misplayed there by Carter. That's going to be offside. And delayed offside against the Fife Flyers. That's why they evacuate the zone. Mickey Forick with the backhand. It's rattling around in front of Shane Owen, but finally they managed to clear, and Shaber with a crisp pass for Justin Fox. Gets it past Jeff Dimon. Now Shaber's got to step on Jeff Dimon, but Mika Weekman once again says no dice. Ollie Betteridge back out on the ice for Nottingham Panthers. I have a feeling a lot of that, if any damage with the collision with the referee, was more cosmetical. Quick shot off the face-off. Didn't threat Mika Weekman that time. Lakovic keeps it moving. Ollie Betteridge swiftly for Lakovic, who will boot it forward for Kudrach. That's funnily off the stanchions, but predictably. Muir will lasso Ollie Betteridge, and now Lakovic is stuck there too. Chris Lawrence coming in. Kudrach, he got stickered into the boards and can't play it. Sertic with a safe short pass for Chris Lawrence. He's going to do some heavy lifting here through center. Nearly went all the way, but didn't that time. Five Flyers with a counterpunch. Mika Weekman kicks out, and Moyer tries to follow up. Lakovic, he's got some breathing room. Finds Brad Moran on that far side. He can't control, and that's going to be an icing call against the Nottingham Panthers. Brad Moran meeting up with Siska at the dot. That's booted back by Moran for Steve Lee, a long-time Team GB international. Steve Lee is. And now he's going to start racing there. Siska making it really hard for Steve Lee to make a clean breakout, so Steven Schultz forced to come back and help his fellow Steve. Schultz cleanly for Brad Moran, then he's going to snipe one in. But Shane Owen made the save even though Schultz was a screen. Moran for Betteridge, he's going to rifle one in, and the rebound goes right on the tape of Finucci. Steve Lee gathers everybody back, and a controlled breakout will be showcased here by the Nottingham Panthers. Drops in his wake for Jeff Dimon as he moves it crisply along. Paquette, first guy to the puck, and that's effectively a first pass as Thinnell moves out of zone. Now Justin Fox on that far side. Shaber got tied up. Fox taking over, makes a couple moves. Chris Lawrence is not having any of it. Fox goes down. Gets back on his feet immediately, however. And that puck, I think, might have hit Kyle Haynes in the face even. Five Flyers, Steve Killer cooking. Paquette, and Shaber just tipped it wide. Farmer, right on for Brian McGrattan. He's got Paquette chasing him down. Brian McGrattan coming in, can't finish it off. One more chance for Carter. He just zipped it wide. Panthers are rolling. But now the Fife Flyers come back. Mika Weekman bravely out of the cage and plays away from Finucci for Jeff Dimon. Kudrock checking his rearview mirrors and filters it forward. That's sent all to the cross corner there. Schoon tried to join the act, can't make anything work from him. Russ Moyer with a nice fake and buys some racing track away from Jeff Brown. On for Kudrock as well. Russ Moyer with a great shift here, but then misplays. Matt Carter can play it fast. Nikiforuk keeps it buzzing. Nikiforuk just trying to get in there. Jeff Brown takes over from the sharp angle. He's got Matt Carter trying to swipe it in front of the cage. Moyer really putting his back into it and forcing it out. Schoon takes care of the rest. Five Flyers clear, and the game remains 2-2. Robert Farmer accelerating through center. Takes the shot off the side of the net. Lakovic extending his stick. Steve Lee pinching in. Farmer checking if there's any opportunity for a pass. Kyle Haynes eliminated a lot of those passing lanes. Siska chops it back as Farmer is forced to retreat. Plays the angle of the boards for Steve Lee, and that just exploded off the stick of Robert Lakovic. Second try off the window, right on the money for Ollie Bedrich. In his lap, even. Lindhagen finds trouble playing it past the Nell. Pitchforking forward is Logan McMillan. Five Flyers with a breakout courtesy of Haynes. Spang chases down, plays away from Thinnell, and buys himself a lot of real estate. Brad Moran takes over, takes a spill as he takes the shot. Now Schultz from the sharp angle. Short side closed by Shane Owen. Might have seen the twine pop there, but it was on the outside, I assure you. Now Spang and Dimmis settling everything down for a bit. Thinnell the first layer of pressure, trying to funnel the Panthers into a bad area, but now he's going to go and check out, and Jeff Dimmis is going to finagle his way past Siska. Taking over is Matt Carter, activating Schultz on the play, and that's going to ricochet off Moyer, I think. Even though he's signaling the faceoff should go outside of the zone. Yeah. The faceoff stays inside the zone as indicated by the linesman, so I have a feeling it's clipped off Moyer. He says otherwise. Jeff Brown eager to get this faceoff going and wins it. Nikiforuk tapped it delicately for Srdich. And now he's going to go explore the blue stripe. Matt Carter taking for a ride behind the cage. That's cleared out swiftly, but not all the way out into neutral ice. Srdich keeps the play hot. Nikiforuk takes control behind the cage. Siska trying to poke it away from him. Matt Carter has a puck on a string. Moves it up ice for Kudroch, and a Jeff Brown tip there. That just goes wide. Brooks, he's already got one. Kudroch pumps it, and that's going to be gloved down by Shane Owen. Jeff Brown getting really agitated here. Lawrence called up to the dot. Can't win it on his strong side. That's off the window and out. And the Five Flyers are going to chase it in the Panthers zone. McGrattan will settle it down, skate to stick for Chris Lawrence. Chris passing right over for Robert Farmer, thought about cutting in, then finds McGrattan instead, but Fox makes the block. A couple of big bodies running into each other. Fox doesn't feel Very good after that one. He's very slow to get up here. Looks like lower body from up here at least. And he's been a pivotal guy on generating some of the offense that Fife Flyers have been able to this evening. So we'll see if he'll return to the game. Either way, not good news as of now for Coach Dutz. Might be a stinger that he can shake off though. You never know, hockey players are really tough. Betteridge couldn't swipe it away, so now Fife Flyers have possession. Pinucci gets Steve Lee right in his rear end. Lakovic will skate it away, and he got taken to the boards by Shaber. Icing on the play. Plays off the right of Mika Weekman. He's going to see Chris Lawrence and Brooks go at it for possession. Ricochets over for Steve Lee, and the carom for Eric Lindhagen. Lakovic is going to move it up ice. Activates Ollie Betteridge on the play. Going to make the move past Paquette. It's Paquette with that long stick of his, try to brush it away. Glove down by Lakovic, very delicately, I might say. And now Spang off the corner boards. Chris Lawrence keeps it moving. Tries to offer it for Lakovic, but it's going to come all the way for Dimon. Pump it in. There was not an offside on the play either way. The Panthers go back as Fife Flyers manage to clear the zone. Spang with a backhand for Jeff Dimon, as he's going to get the wheels moving. Logan McMillan likewise as he goes with a backhand pass for Steven Schultz. Plays it down low, and working the trenches is Logan McMillan. Spang's going to walk the blue stripe, takes a shot, but couldn't siphon it past Shaber. McMillan this time for Schultz, backdoor for Brad Moran, and he gets denied by Shane Owen. Dimon, quick one in, and Shane Owen once again looking so effective in that 6x4, and he'll freeze. This game indeed could be very different if it wasn't for Shane Owen. Jeff Brown and Shaber right off the dot. Comes for Serdich, as with his backhand he pops it for Matt Carter. Turned over, and now the Fife Flyers find some skating room back to the way with Thinnell. Pinucci waits for a good opportunity. Perhaps was looking to get it through a screen or get it tipped, but neither of those variables happened, so Mika Weekman could see it into his glove with relative ease.
1-6-2-5 wins £1,104, playing the prize for the 50-50 desk.
Brown meeting up with Brooks at the dot. Kudrach, Nikiforuk, Matt Carter, and Andy Serdich out there as well. Kudrach hurries and muscles it for Matt Carter. Nikiforuk gets his shot at the puck now. Shane Owen once again quick to freeze that puck. Panthers have an offensive zone face-off, and Fife Flyers have a little breather here. New line deployed by Cornelison. It's the Brad Moran line. He's going to show where he wants to win it for Steve Lee. Lindhagen teaming up with Robert Farmer down low as he skates it up ice and right down low for Brad Moran's. Point position for Steve Lee. High tip there by Robert Farmer, but that's going to go high over Shane Owen. Schultz going to work. Brad Moran trying to team up with him, but Fife Flyers managed to get the numbers and get the pill, and now they come back the other way. Off the end boards, Steve Lee scurries to get there first. Brad Moran has it in his control. And now Stephen Schultz has a clamp on it. Takes a quick shot, and that's going to be flagged down by Shane Owen. Haynes and Farmer exchanging a couple words. Chris Lawrence going to work. You'll see because he's a right-handed shot. Lakovic and Betteridge are looking to get on his right side here. Lakovic comes in there in turn, try to shimmy in, but Fife Flyers get a touch on it first. Justin Fox back on the ice. Good news for Coach Dutz. Lakovic will put some mustard on it and around the boards for Chris Lawrence. He couldn't connect the dots with Ollie Betteridge. Betteridge tried to take over. And now it's back for Dan Spang. The hinge play. And the Colorado native Jeff Dimon drops it right back for Dan Spang. Both studying in the Loughborough MBA program. Chris Lawrence really working here against Paquette. Paquette changes directions a couple of times and finds a little space away from Chris Lawrence. Kyle Haynes zips it forward. Now it's picked up by Kudrach. He's going to glide back behind this cage, use it as shelter, wait for Shaber to peel off, and now here comes a breakout. Over for Jeff Brown, Canadian forward of the Nottingham Panthers. Pops free for Finucci. There's an odd man rush. Finucci takes a shot, couldn't quite get there. Mika Wakeman might have even got a good piece of that. Nikiforuk with the sauce pass for Matt Carter. He can't put a clamp on it and it escapes. Moyer changing sides. Regains on the first pass over for Brooks. Asking for an ice, and an icing they will get. I think it was Farmer who was yelling for icing there. Couple of Roberts and riding shotgun with them. Brian McGrattan, that's the line that's been deployed. Eric Lindhagen and Steve Lee will complete the decor on that particular unit. Moyer swiftly around Brian McGrattan. Off the plexi, and now it's Robert Farmer. He's really commuting it out there today, that's for sure. Owen makes the save. You really hear Farmer shouting in. Lakovic sees a funny puck explode off the boards. Going to go hound it down, but Five Flyers managed to break out. 3-on-2 back the other way. Sisko with a drop pass for Finucci. I think Mika Weekman made the save, and a fantastic back check by Robert Farmer. That is a grade A scoring opportunity for Finucci had it not been for Robert Farmer's great defensive play to hustle from the offensive zone, just disrupt the flow of that play. Shaver can't win it, so Spang will tap it off for Jeff Dimon after he finds it at the corner boards. Dimon returns the favor as Spang will mail it on over for Logan McMillan. Enters the zone, looks to carve in. Going to use Haynes as a screen, and that left foot of Haynes doesn't look too good, and neither does this right here. Fox and Dimon getting up gingerly. Oh boy. Looks like Dimon can shake it off a little easier than Fox can. And he stays on the bench for the time being, so that's good news for the Panthers, but now we're going to have a look at Justin Fox, I believe, and with no disrespect to Scott Poundle, it's usually not a good sight when we need him out here on the ice. Devin looking a bit shaky and on the Panthers bench too, not putting too much pressure, I believe, on what is the left foot, perhaps the left leg. Something to do with that limb. Fox, on the other hand, he's going to need more help here. And as we did mention earlier, Fox did receive a bump. And I don't know if this is related to that, but it definitely didn't make it better. Fox is going to be escorted by Thinnell and Jackman out into the locker room, and that's not good to see for any hockey fan, especially if you're a Fife Flyers supporter. And as already mentioned, Fox is a key guy for the Fife Flyers, so it's not impossible, but Coach Dutz has a couple more problems on his hands. So back to hockey. Jeff Dimon back out there on the ice, so I'm sure a lot of the fans here at the National Ice Center crossed their fingers that it was just a stinger. Jeff Dimon getting thrown right back in there. Then, wow, Steven Schultz bid there after a great feed by Logan McMillan. There was a nice seam that the Panthers could use. Schultz loses his clamp on it. Dimon plays it for Spang. Those two exchange. Looks like Dimon needs to go for a change. And he's going to sit close to the runway, but definitely just going to stay standing up for now. Spang retreats. Jeff Dimon hits the runway. A couple of guys injured here this evening. That plays onside as Schultz brings it in. Brad Moran, the veteran centerman, couldn't quite get it to go. So now Kudrach retreats in harmony with Andy Sertich. Receives, and the conductor there, Andy Sertich, will assess his options. A couple of D2D plays, finally by Nikiforuk with some time and space. Then a tip there by Jeff Brown. But Shane Owen once again making that all-important save to keep his traveling whites in it. So I know I'm confusing you there back at home, but Jeff Dimon looks like he wants to pop back on the bench. Is he reading the runway? Is he not? Looks like he's going to try to eke it out here. Now more pressing matters at hand. Face off to the right of Shane Owen. Jeff Brown goes to work. Taps it on for Kudrach as he delicately slides it for Carter. He clicked it over to the slot, but no one there to capitalize on it. Finucci got a touch on it. Now sharp angle bid there by Haynes. Mika Weekman had that short side sealed. Sertich sees that puck carry him off his blade. Now Nikiforuk gets the outlet pass. Takes the shot, but a good stick there by Brooks. Paquette rims it around. And now Finucci. He's going to send the frisbee in for Mika Weekman. And now Kudrach taking over after he got teed up by Mika Weekman. Interesting note, Jeff Dimon still hasn't sat down, and that's something you don't want to do when you got something like that with a leg. You might want to keep moving, keep it moving. Delayed offside against the Nottingham Panthers. The black and gold forced to evacuate the zone. Carter Farmer tracks down the clearance over for Steve Lee, and he teams up with Eric Lindhagen. Swiftly around the boards by Chris Lawrence. Reading it is Robert Lakovich on the other side. Thinnell, however, making it hard, and especially Shaber bests Nottingham's Robert Farmer there that time. Thinnell off the side of the net, and that was a good pass. That was a real good heads-up play. But the Fife Flyers can't get it to go. 2:55 still on the clock of the third period. Haynes will just sauce it on over as Schultz is going to carve out and set sights to the offensive zone. Sends in a looper for Robert Farmer to chase, pardon me, even Logan McMillan. Kudroch, right on the money for McMillan, but that just exploded off his blade. No harm done as Schultz regains, plays catch with Brad Moran, then goes for a centering feed. Passing options denied that time. Spang is going to walk the blue stripe, then Schultz with time and space, backdoor feed. I think it ricocheted perhaps of Brad Moran or Finucci. Either way, goes to the corner of the Fife Flyers zone. They get it immediately for Schultz. And once again looking for Brad Moran, but the defensive presence of Moyer that time thwarting the play. Slot pass once again. Schultz can't get it to go. Wrapping it around was Matt Carter. Getting his toe on it was Shane Owen. Moyer can't poke it away. Brad Moran gets it. First to click it to center, now Thinnell initiating things back the other way. It's been a long shift for these guys. Shaver with a couple moves, plays away from Spang. 1:35 remaining of the third period. And that's going to send Rick Jackman back into his own zone. In hot pursuit, Alex Nikiforek. Paquette with a pass that's collected off the boards by Brooks. Good stick there by Robert Farmer, but Fife Flyers still managed to keep it hot. Paquette. And now in the corner boards, they really go to battle for it. Now Brooks trying to rifle it. Nikiforek might have gotten a good piece of that. Either way, ricochets into the end boards. 55 seconds still on the clock. Robert Farmer puts on the brakes, carves inside. Launches in the puck, and he's going to go seeking for it too. Activates Eric Lindhagen on the play. Off the skate of Nikiforek. Scores! Alex Nikiforek with 45 seconds remaining. Dents the twine, and the Panthers have a 3-2 lead. That's the go-ahead goal that could be so critical to this hockey game. Hashtag puck luck, that's for sure. They're going to hashtag the Fife Flyers tough luck is more like what you're going to use. Looks like Fife Flyers are calling a timeout here. Rightfully so, as they're going to need another goal here to send it into regulation. I'm assuming as soon as the Fife Flyers gain possession in the offensive zone, they're going to pull Shane Owen and I'm assuming throw everything in but the kitchen sink. Panthers, in contrast, probably going to try to get that empty netter. Somebody's going to have an opportunity to pad their stats. Shane Owen going straight to the bench off the face-off. And I guess at this point they don't have much to lose, that's for sure. Five Flyers with 6 skaters. Panthers with 5 and Mika Weekman in net. They win it and get it down low. Steve Lee's going to go hatcheting for it. And now it's a real log jam behind Mika Weekman. Boy, there's not much real estate out there, and yeah, rightfully so. The referee's going to blow this play dead with 30.8 seconds remaining. Not much moving behind the cage of Mika Weekman. Face-off, however, in the Panthers zone, and this is exactly what the Fife Flyers ideally want. Chris Lawrence tasked with winning the face-off. Brooks likewise for his respective team. They're going to go spearing and slashing and hacking for it. Now McMillan's going to go give this chase, but offside, icing called against the Nottingham Panthers as Haynes gets there before McMillan does. Forgot to mention, by the way, that big congratulations to Ross and Rachel, who got married. Well, they didn't get married, they got engaged at the second intermission. Steve Lee is going to put some mustard on it and get it out of the zone. Paul Haynes, he needs to make a play here quickly. Goes for the cross corner dump in. Srdjic gets there first. And hence there's an icing on the play. Fennell was trying to chase it down. Now they really need to get Shane Owen back on the ice, as the faceoff's going to happen in their own end. And with 10.2 seconds remaining, it's looking a bit bleak for the Fife Flyers, but you never know. That's why the sport of hockey is such a great sport indeed. Especially on a Sunday night, I can't think of a much better place to be or anything better to do than being right here at the National Ice Center watching the Nottingham Panthers. Brad Moran wins it. He's going to play back for Steve Lee, who conservatively skates it to neutral ice, then flutters one forward. And it looks like that's going to do it. The GMB Nottingham Panthers win 3-2 as the Fife Flyers fall to the hosts.
Like any activity in life, it's all about preparation. So start this year with a review of your finances. 2021 is the year to make things happen, so let's do it together. At the Nottingham, along with our trusted partners, there's not much we can't help you with when it comes to financial planning. From independent financial advice and prepaid funeral plans to will writing and estate planning services, we've got it covered. So call your nearest branch today to arrange a free initial meeting to discuss your savings, pensions and investments.